Hello, Happy New Year. Welcome back. I've had a lot of tech issues in the last couple months and I got burnt out trying to solve them. And I was filming like the same pitch over and over and over and over. And I was just sick of looking at myself in the camera. So I abandoned YouTube because I have other things I need to do other than just film videos. So that is my very lame excuse. So while I'm getting ready and putting myself together to look like a human, professional maybe, I just turned the camera on so that I could just talk, give a quick update. It may or may not be coherent, but hello, I put up a new video this year, sort of on time. Okay, here we go. Holy moly. Okay, so I have a hot second to do literally all my makeup and I don't even have a mirror. Well, this is what we're gonna go with today. I think the next thing I'm gonna invest in is a lighting system so that my actual recording hours can be a little bit more varied. Let's see, what is new? Right now, our team is working on we're basically rebuilding the entire platform from scratch. So we kind of learned what we could from the prototype that was super uninspiring. And so basically at this point we are building like what the platform really needs to be in order to be an amazing experience for beauty lovers to buy and sell their beauty products. So all the very specific pain points that happen on other marketplaces, that is what we are trying to avoid. So one of the things that we're working on is making sure that sellers can list a lot of items very quickly. Because usually when you're selling makeup items, like you're not just listing one item, you're listing like dozens of items. Because, you kind of go through your collection and de-stash all at once. So I wanted to kind of take that de-stash and be able to have the user just hop onto our site, upload everything, and have all the listings basically automatically generated. So you're not spending a ton of time just making listings, because it gets so frustrating, like taking a picture, uploading it, writing a description, a title, whatever, when really you're not the only person who would be able to provide that information. So that's why we're using a little bit of artificial intelligence to identify those products for people. And that is not a cheap or quick endeavor, but I feel like it's just so key to who the user is and how it's just really key to how people interact with their beauty products. So you don't just generally you just kind of go through your whole collection at once and do a big de-stash, and then you build up your collection again and try newness and figure out what does and doesn't work, and then you kind of do another big collection cleanup. Or you are just a collector and it just gets to the point where you run out of storage space and then you need to do a little bit of a Marie Kondo, let me revisit what sparks joy again. So yeah, that is what we're working on, and really hoping that by the end of January, we will have like a very high level prototype that we'll be able to share with some very early users to kind of see how they interact with the site, and if a lot of the things that we think are necessary are actually necessary. Technically this is still like another version of an MVP. However, we are starting off with a lot more data than me at the very beginning of this journey, like 2 years ago. Like Glou started as something entirely different. It was just about swapping, but I realized that most people actually want the money for their makeup so that they can buy exactly what they want, and finding an exact match is really, it's a lot more involved, and you don't get that instant gratification that you get with just shopping. So that's why we are more focused on buy sell now than swapping or trading. Kind of what's going on that front, and I've slowly handed off basically everything that I used to do or would like to be doing to someone else, because I am trying to fundraise in the first quarter of this year And whenever you're taking on someone else's money, that's pretty big responsibility. Basically, my job is going to be dealing with money and like making sure that, you know, and keeping all the stakeholders involved in the whole process and in the know. So basically that takes myself out of the daily operations and more into just focusing on making sure that the team has the resources they need and that I'm kind of the go-between person between people at Glou and the stakeholders who are investing in us. So it's been pretty exciting. I'm doing a lot of like research and emailing right now. I think it literally took me majority of last year to understand the fundraising process, like figure out what the heck venture capital was in the first place, if it was necessary. And I learned the very high level concept stuff like maybe spring of last year, and it wasn't until the very end of the year I was like, okay, I have a pitch deck that doesn't suck. And the simplification of trying to narrow down your business and distill it into something with a quick yet is so hard. Simple is hard. I think that I finally did that. It started off as basically brain vomit onto a PowerPoint. Like every thought I've ever had was there, and playing with like different business models and like making the whole scope way too large, and then I had to narrow it back down and try and tie it all together, and then it was an even bigger mess. It got to the point where I didn't even understand my pitch deck, and finally I have like a much more simplified version, and I think people will get it really quickly because most people look at your deck for like less than 3 minutes. So they spend like 15 seconds on each slide, and the goal was to make sure that all the information is coming across, which is so hard because I feel like beauty lovers are such a complex entity, and I feel like I'm not advocating for the user when that's the part I'm most passionate about. So you have to give them what they're looking for, and by them I mean like investors. I have to be able to communicate towards what they're expecting and then be able to still have my vision come across. It's a whole thing. What was I even doing? Oh yeah, still don't have a mirror. I don't know where my mirror is. Actually, this whole room is a complete mess right now. Oh my gosh, that's not even what I wanted. That's fine, we're skipping that today. Definitely, you know, no matter what the outcome of this whole venture is, I've learned a lot, and you know, I'm still optimistic about everything, and I just know that if I don't give this my best shot, then, you know, the only person I'll really disappoint is future me. And no one really wants to live with regrets. And I also recognize that I have the privilege of being able to move back home, live with my parents, so I don't have to pay rent, like worry about food and stuff like that. Because a lot of the time, even if you have all these amazing ideas and you're kind of the entrepreneurial mindset, not everyone is or should start something on their own. Like, I think their ideas are everywhere, opportunities are everywhere, but you have to find like a really good fit for something that you will care about and work on for free for years. And I'm just really happy that I found something that I really care about and I want to work for. And I had to come to terms with the idea, like, hey, like, if I work on this for 5-10 years and I end up with $0, like, will I be okay? Financially, no, but like in terms of will I feel like I did everything I could, and will I feel fulfilled? Hopefully. I think so, because living with regrets is something I always want to super duper avoid. So that's gonna be my focus for this year. And now, okay, now I've finally put on an amount of makeup that I think is reasonable, and I have to make sure that it will show up on camera, because after this I'm gonna continue filming some pitch videos of various kinds, because now that everything is online, they want to see a video of you talking about yourself or like why you're doing this. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. And the reason I have not posted videos on a regular basis, like I was so good about it and then I totally stopped, I ended up having audio issues. So I had hours of footage that basically unusable. Tweaked it as much as I could, but it was just so crap. I could not put it out into the world. Because even though I strongly believe that done is better than perfect, which is why like everything back here is a mess. My hair's still wet. But you know, you gotta just do something. However, the videos were truly terrible. I tried editing some of them and I couldn't get through it. And if I can't get through it, I definitely don't want other people to think that is a reflection of my work. Usually done is better than perfect. Otherwise, you'll be striving for something that's impossible. However, with audio or like something wrong, something that big, I could not put it up. And I got super burnt out trying like every combination of cables, microphones, and I realized that it was to do with the camera. Like for some reason, the sound and the monitor don't like each other. So I now have to put together the video and the sound together, and it's not like from the camera, which is annoying, but here we go. Honestly, I haven't even done a camera test with a microphone in 2021. Maybe it was a 2020 thing. I don't know. It's actually a nice lip gloss. I've never used this one before. What is this? Kosas lip oil in Dip. There we go. Redness peak on. Take away the redness and then add it back in. Now I gotta go dry my hair so I don't look like I just walked out of the shower. Anyways, I hope that kind of gives you a little insight into what I'm up to, what's happening with Glou, and I'm just so excited for what's to come. I've left a link down below for you to join the wait list. Please tell all your friends, especially anyone you know who has ever bought a beauty product, because the likelihood is if you've purchased beauty products in the past, you have purchased something that you did not love and felt forced to finish. Anyways, I will see you all next week. Bye. Oh, hello neighbor. Oh my gosh, is my neighbor naked? No, they're actually not naked. They're just wearing a tank top that's the same color of their skin, I think.